Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm covering 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days Season 3 Episode 4. Overall, I thought this episode was kind of meh. Some of the storylines I liked more than the others. There are a couple of couples that I just think are very boring, which I'll go through. But overall, I kind of thought the episode was meh, and they could have done better. So let's start off with the first couple. So we have Ed and Rosemarie. So Ed finally meets Rosemarie in the airport, and then they head off to the hotel, and then Rosemarie mentions that she doesn't have pajamas. So I'm thinking, like, you forgot them, or like you don't wear pajamas. I'm confused. Which makes Ed he kind of feels sad because he wasn't buying things for, like, necessities for Rosemarie. He was buying lingerie and foolishness. And he is just like, oh my god, like, she doesn't even have pajamas. Anyways, they also have, like, a room with, I don't know, if like 2 double beds. I don't know what the size of the beds are, but then they push them together and they sleep side by side, but not together. Ed mentions that he wants Rosemarie to take an STD test before they were to get intimate, but he can't take it upon himself to tell her. So then they go to sleep the next morning. Ed's like, okay, you know what, Rosemarie, go get breakfast. Well, not go get breakfast, but let's eat breakfast, and then after I'm gonna take you shopping. And I'm like, Ed, you sound like a sugar daddy right now. That's sugar daddy lingo. And he's like, I'm gonna get you pajamas. So it's like, okay, cool. They go into this market. The Philippines is a tropical climate. It's a very dense population. They're in a major city. So Ed is walking through, I guess, the market, and they're going to buy Rosemarie pajamas. So then the lady's like, oh, it's like 180 pesos or whatever. And Ed's like, and then, so Rosemarie took it upon herself to snatch the money and give it to the girl. Well, Ed was feeling some type of way and was just like, yo, you can't just be in my wallet taking my stuff. So then Rosemarie's like, well, I'm trying to help you out. And I understand from, like, both perspectives, but, like, Ed, she wasn't gonna, like, snatch your money and run away. Like, she needs you, so calm down. And Ed, you were standing there looking foolish. You didn't even understand anything. So to have someone local there to help you, you should take advantage of it, versus just, well, why are you touching my stuff for? So they get her pajamas. They buy Ed a shirt because that man was sweaty. That man was sweaty from now till tomorrow. I don't know, he looked so gross. Like, I felt like I could almost, like, smell him from the screen. I was just like, ugh. But he got in a mood, and then he was just like, you know, I want to go home. I want to go home. I need air conditioning and stuff like that. I'm like, it is what it is. So then Rosemarie is just kind of like, okay, we can go home. But I feel like Ed needs to understand that you both are using each other for different things, and it's okay. It's okay to have, like, a transactional type of relationship, but, like, let's not be delusional and think that she's there for love, or there's love involved. There might be love involved on your part, but there's definitely not love involved on her part. I understand the whole money business and her sister asking for money, but that's one of the things you're gonna have to sign up. You're gonna sign up for. You're gonna have to financially support her family. It is what it is. So that's it with Edie Rosemarie. So next we have Avery and Ash. So Avery and Ash are one of the couples I deem as boring. I tend to tune out, be on my phone, be on Instagram, just wasting time away when this couple comes on. So Ash and Avery meet each other. It's all lovely and stuff. They go to Ash's has rented an Airbnb, which is only 5 minutes from his house. Instead of Avery being like, oh, I'm so happy that we get to spend time together alone because like we're a very new couple, we're just seeing each other physically, she's like, oh, that's nice and all, but does his brother not like me as to why I can't spend time, like I can't sleep over at their house or I can't stay at their house? I'm like, Rosemary, if I was Ash's brother, I'd be like, yo, you can't let this girl or man up in my house, some stranger that I don't know and you don't know. Like, I don't know this person from nowhere. So like, I don't fault him for saying like, go rent some kind of Airbnb. He discovers that they're not going to be sharing a room right away, but I feel like every couple says that and they end up together, so it's whatever. He gifts her with black roses because she likes black. Black roses symbolize death, funerals type of thing, but like, it is what it is. I could see Ash being a womanizer. I give him the side eye a lot to some of the things he says. I don't believe in a lot of the things and feelings he says. Even though, I don't know, they just don't sound authentic. They sound like things that like a girl would want, like a girl would want to hear, and then you would say that stuff in order to get into their pants. So I feel like Ash is a womanizer, plus like a relationship advice coach who has been through multiple women and is divorced and not in a long-term serious relationship, and the whole him and Avery long distance, that doesn't count. Does he not take his own advice, or like what's the problem? So I'm always giving him the side eye. So next we have Jeffrey and Varya. So it seems like they've kind of gotten past the awkwardness, thank God. I also think this couple is boring as well. Their storyline is kind of all over the place. I'm confused half the time. I'm like, okay. Well, it starts off with they go to the hotel together. Varya decides she's going to stay with Jeffrey, which, like, anyone could have told you she was going to do that. So the next morning, she takes him around Moscow. They have a very, like, couple montage of them just seeing different things. It was very nice. It was very cute. And then the plan is that they're gonna go to Varya's city to stay for a bit, just kind of see where she comes from and see where she lives. And then they're gonna go to Serbia to go see Varya's mom. So everything is nice and all. They go to before then, they're getting ready in the bathroom, and then Varya discovers Jeffrey's comb. The comb has the name of his ex-girlfriend on it. It wouldn't bother me, but it's just a comb, but it bothered her. She threw it away and then told him about it and was like, yo, I threw your comb away because it had another girl's name on it. I don't appreciate that. You guys are not together. That seems really, really sentimental. And he was just like, no, it's a comb. How am I going to comb my hair? It's not that big of a deal. Varya said that she was going to go and buy him another comb. It's problem solved. So then they traveled 3 or 4 hours from Moscow to her home country, her city. They get into the apartment, and she's like, you can hear the commentary of what she, in the confessional, where she's just like, oh, I'm scared that it's gonna be a little bit too simple, and I'm like, elaborate. So they go into the apartment, and I was like, where's your apartment? This looks like it needs to be renovated. It's missing a lot of furniture. I guess it was like a bachelor or something. It seemed like a bachelor, but I didn't see another bedroom to have the one bedroom. But either way, the kitchen seemed like it was missing some like cabinet shelving. I think I saw a stove. I don't even know if I saw a fridge. The bathroom had no sink. There was electrical wires out. The light bulb was hanging from the ceiling by the bulb. Like, there was a lot of things that need to get done. And then on top of it all, she sleeps on her couch. So she sleeps on like a futon, I guess. What kind of grown ass, let me see how old she is again. She's 30 years old. Get it together. So then Jeffrey asked her, like, hey, like, why does the place still look like this? And she's like, well, I was gonna renovate it, but then I started talking to you, and we're talking about relationship and stuff, so I decided to not do it. And then he's like, okay, but so you're relying on this relationship to go to the States? And she's like, well, you know, it's an opportunity, so, you know, never know. So I want to save my money in case I were to go to the States. And I'm just kind of like, girl, fix up your home. You haven't been talking to this man for very long. I can understand that, like, oh, this relationship could be serious and stuff like that, but you gotta do better. You gotta make sure that, like, where you're living is good. And I feel like I would be embarrassed to take someone to my apartment like this. To be honest, I thought you were gonna ask him, like, oh, that's why I have you here for. You're gonna do renovations on the cheap. But no, she was like, oh, this is just temporary. I'm not trying to fix it up because I'm gonna sell it anyways and go to America with you. So I'm just like, girl, stop it. So next we have Lisa, Baby Love, and Usman. So why did they have to make this scene the first scene? So they just finished, I guess in the morning, they were intimate. Obviously the camera crew is always asking, so how was your first time with the person? And they're all like giggling and kikiing in the, basically having pillow talk. And she describes that how different their culture is, to the point that Usman didn't know what oral sex was. And I was like, Lisa, honey, he knew what oral sex was. He pretended to not know what oral sex was to see if he could avoid giving it to you, because you are only 70% good, which is good enough for him, but only 70%, which in Canada's calculation, that's like a B minus. Like, you're very close to a C. So calm yourself down. They decide to have a breakfast with his friends, and they start talking about getting married and Usman's mom, and that his mom thinks that Lisa's there to take Usman away and enslave him, which obviously they're a bit older ideology, but the way that Lisa acts towards Usman, you're like, I can kind of see that though. She's too jealous for my liking. So they talk about approval from his parent, well, his mom specifically, and his friends were telling her, like, you know, we value our parents' blessing. What they say goes. His mom is not gonna like the situation, and Lisa's like, well, it doesn't matter because we're gonna get married anyways, right, Usman? Right? We don't need your mom's approval. You said we don't even need it. And then Usman's like talking about like the wisdom will come when it comes. Like, I don't know, he's talking pure foolishness. But he admitted that he lied to Lisa about getting his mom's approval, which he told her that he did not need it when in fact he does. So, sucks to be you, Usman. Then, he takes her to where he lives, which he says he lives in like a big city, but I don't know, it really wasn't giving me like no Legos vibe. It didn't seem that big. She shows him, he shows her the place, like the house itself, the living room, the bedroom, which Lisa made a point, like, how are these three guys sharing a bedroom, and like why someone's sleeping on like a kid mattress, which it didn't even look like a kid's mattress. It looked so, the mattress looked like it was like this thin. And then he was kind of explaining to her his culture and like how normal it is. He showed her the bathroom and she was just like, she can't do no type of bucket. Like, believe me, I've had to use a bucket to bathe with, and when you're accustomed to a certain lifestyle, when you're accustomed to a shower head, when you're accustomed to warm water, even hot water, it is so hard using a bucket to bathe. And Lisa was just like, hell nah, I'm not doing none of this. But I'm glad that we're staying in a hotel, which I would be glad to, Lisa. I don't remember where they go, but I feel like Usman went to go pick up something, and Lisa's in the car, and Usman's phone's going off. So when he comes in the car, Lisa's like, oh, your phone's been blowing up. Who's been calling you? And Usman's like, he's trying to act so nonchalant about like, I don't know who's calling me. And Lisa's like, well, someone thinks you're interested. They're blowing up your phone. And I feel like Lisa needs to stop it. Lisa needs to really needs to check herself, because you're not this young hot thing, and your man is a celebrity, so he's going to have fans. There's going to be girls involved and stuff like that. You kind of have to put your jealousy to the side. You can't be telling him, when I come there, you better not be on your phone. Your phone better not be blowing up. No one better be talking to you and stuff like this. I'm just like, he can't guarantee stuff like that. So, I don't know. I don't know with Lisa, but I enjoy her and Usman's storyline. So we have Darcy and Tom. It was a very small clip. They had a spa day. They went out. She went out with her sister and her friend, and she basically tells her friend that Tom has been seeing another girl, and she kind of does remind me of Darcy in a way, as just like blonde hair and just like a lot of work done. And her friend's like, oh no, girl, and are you sure it's him, and is this an old picture? Oh my god, what are you gonna do? And she's like, well, he's coming to New York. And she's like, girl, confront him, girl, confront him, blah blah blah. And she's like, I don't understand, because we never broke up, or he never broke up with me, so why is he seeing this other girl and stuff like that, even though you've mentioned that the relationship has been different since you guys left. And I don't know why Darcy can't come to Tom and ask him, yo Tom, are we still together? Are we trying to make this work, or are we seeing other people? Versus, I need to see you in person, I need to see you in person. So, but theirs was a very, very short segment. And then last but not least, we saw the new couple, or the new person. Dave, 60, from Las Vegas, and he's in a relationship with Lana, 27, from Ukraine. I wasn't sure if he was 27 or 26, but I'm gonna just say 27. He's been talking to her for 7 years, which I felt like talking to her when she was 20 years old seems kind of gross. But he talks with her through this chat website that he has to pay for every little thing, paying by the minute, by the messages. He said that he spent probably over $100,000 on the dating website. Dave, if this girl was real, in order for me to save money, I would say, hey honey, we're going to start using WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, and we're going to use Google Translate, because this dating website is too expensive. It also seems that Dave has a thing for Ukrainian girls, or maybe Eastern European girls, because he's so focused on trying to find a girl from that country. He's tried, I guess, I don't know what to call it, but he's tried to use a dating service where he went down, met up with a bunch of girls. It's kind of like the Bachelor style. He got with a girl, but she was too shy for him, and they remained friends. And it seems like this girl, she's gone on with her life. She has a husband and stuff like this. But Dave is still trying to meet Lana. This man is so delusional. This man is so hopeful. But this man, like, I can't even be sad for him, because this is the 4th time he's gonna meet her. Because the first time, she just stood him up. So apparently he got over that and he let that go. I don't know, buying a plane ticket, hotel, and all that stuff, and you decide to stand me up, I'm not talking to you anymore. Your number's deleted. So the second time, her brother died, which you can't obviously plan tragedies. I can understand that, but in these catfish events, there's usually someone dying, family members, and the third reason, she had some kind of medical issue that required surgery. That's kind of like a telltale sign for someone who's a catfish. They play on your emotions. They use death so you can't question them. They use medical issues so you feel bad for them. And already they're going to meet at some kind of train station. And he's telling her, Lana, okay, what are you going to wear? Blah, 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 blah. And she's talking about, oh, I don't know where I put the tickets. And I'm like, girl, I'm like, if you don't want to meet him, you don't want to meet him. But just like, well, I would say just leave him alone, but they're getting her money. The dating website and probably Lana are both getting money from him. And I don't know if Eastern European girls are a fetish for him, because it just seems like he has a type. He's looking for this young girl. Why would you be talking to a 20-year-old in your 50s? She doesn't know English. I have to keep speaking quotations, because for all I know, the dating website has some kind of call center that these people pretend to be these people in order to charge money, and then they end up going to they end up just having these men spend their money. So I don't know, I don't believe it at this point. Dave seems foolish. Between Dave and Yolanda, I don't know which one's more foolish, but we'll see. But that's the end of my recap of 90 Day Fiance Before 90 Days, Season 4, Episode 4. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
I'm just a dumb cunt. fucking sick and tired of it. Maybe I could front love, maybe I could buy a zip, maybe I get fucked up. Next time I could save some. Why it's gotta be like this? Why it's gotta be that way? Put it inside. Feel so rise up, banging on that loud.